Hello, this is going to be a collective reading for July 2025. Let me see. I'm going to use the Crow cards. No, I'll use these because I'm about to kick these out. I'm going to kick them out. What do we have for collective for today? July 2025. Well, it'll probably be like for tomorrow because the loading. So what do we have for tomorrow? Today or tomorrow? July 2025, the beginning of July. I like to whisper because the spirits whisper. And you'll be surprised how much they react to whispers instead of like us straight out talking. They react better to whispers. Whispering sounds funny too. You know, it sounds mystical. Even when I did it just now, I was like, ooh. Because I don't do it that hard, you know, but like I felt the energy. So that's a thing, you know, the Bible tells us to go into the closet when we pray. Don't like show everybody that you're praying and stuff like that. Some things need to be between you and spirit, and we're supposed to like whisper. And that's why the spirits too, when you hear them, it's like whisperings. In scary movies, you get a lot of whispers and stuff like that. But I don't know if you notice in the scary movies, usually the demon is the good guy. It's usually the human or the person that is the bad person, the bad guy. The demon is usually the good guy. It's because the demons are the titans, you know, gods don't die. So what they're trying to do is just keep them from being reincarnated. Because they don't want anything new to come into the world because they won't be able to engage in it. Gang. Brotherhood of shadows, underworld, transactions, violence, and criminality. So this is speaking to like what's happening now with all of the, well, right now, I don't know, maybe this came out. Depict, sublime, abstraction, form, and sensation. Yeah, this is giving me like the puppeteer. These gangs and stuff are being allowed to do what they're doing. Bigger companies, corporations behind them, and they're just being used. Those companies and corporations, you know, once they're done using the gangs to clear everything out and to do all the you know, the dirty work, then they come get you and put you in jail. That's the devil. That's how the devil is. You work with the devil and then later on they come get you and lock you up. That's what he does. He tricks you. He tempts you. Coach. And this bothers me because I just know that before we allowed these, I don't know, I feel like after Nipsey, just with the gangs and they brought out all the celebrities, it just really turned into a shit show. I think that we turned, especially the black community, they turned us into a bunch of degenerates. wheeling in all of these women that are just nasty to be the face of the black woman. You know, big old weaves in their head and fake bodies and ghetto and a bunch of tattoos. You can't tell what the hell. What is that? What is that tattoo? It's not professionally done. You don't know what it is. It's just like a big ink blot all over them. I hate that too. Especially with chocolate skin. It's so beautiful. You put all that crap on your arm and it looks all blotchy and blotted out. I hate when dark-skinned people get tattoos. Dark-skinned people have to get white in their tattoos so that it stands out. I hate it. I hate it so much because the skin, especially on brown skin and dark skin, is so freaking beautiful. It freaking glows like the sun. And then you put that shit all over it and mess up your complexion. Terrible. And it looks used and, you know, you look used up and ghetto. I'm sorry, it just does. They did that to us on purpose. They reel out all this sleeves and everybody got tattoos all over the place. Let me tell you what's so crazy about that. When I was dancing in LA, the girls started getting into witchcraft a lot. It was before I came to Houston. Well, I went to Houston. And they all started getting a bunch of tattoos, skulls and stuff like that. Like, it was just like... I mean, to where that place, I don't know what happened to them girls after I left. When I came back, they must have did something to get out of what they were doing because they were still evil. They're obviously witches now. But, like, the way that it all started and how the demons started coming in the club and possessing the girls and stuff like that, it was really crazy to see. And I had a friend at the time that had got a job as a bartender. She was like a waitress at the club at that time. And it was like I was the only person that wasn't being affected by it. So like she would be trying to come stay over my house all the time. Like she couldn't sleep where she was at. She was seeing Pinhead and all kind of stuff. They were talking about Bone Thugs and Harmony. It was crazy because... a lot of the girls were talking about Bone Thugs and Harmony, like, and playing the music a lot. And I was like, after that, I was like, I used to play Bone Thugs a lot. There's still like one or two songs that I really, really enjoy the beat and stuff because it just makes me feel so sexy. But I'm so aware of that now because all of the girls started... Oh, it was crazy because Bone Thugs hadn't even, it's not like even like now, like they've come back out a little bit. They were like, not, you know, this was before social media had got big, you know, so it wasn't no bring it back. I've always danced off of like older songs because they just speak to me better than the newer stuff, but Bone Thugs and Harmony, they started getting all those tattoos. And I noticed that when everybody started getting all those tattoos, I was like, ooh, this is just like, and I had just moved to LA again, back to LA. So it was like I was back in that energy that these girls had created. And it was due to jealousy, a bunch of jealousy, because I was in the magazines. And, oh my God, that just caused so much, you know, women are so jealous. And I really had to deal with that all my life. And I know it's because of Ophiuchus. Because it's just that energy, like, dude, you don't even have to be all that. You know, you could be like, damn, I'm cute, but damn, I see bitches better than me all day. And it don't matter. It's just that energy is on you. Because of past life and witches and stuff like that. Like, witches are familiar spirits. They have given up their right to be reborn through the divine feminine matrix. So they possess you. They come back and they possess you. And they're in the bloodline. You gotta clean it out. And you gotta clean it out yourself. You don't have kids and then expect them to do the hard work. That's crazy. Well, you did all the shit you did in your life. Now you want your kid to fix it, right? Witch. That's a witch. selfish, brings people into their shit. You know, they can't do anything on their own because they're weak. They have to work with numbers and get people on their side and stuff like that. I keep telling you, not a lot of people have identified with being a witch, but you can unidentify with it. And some of you might have to get an exorcism because that spirit is a real spirit. A witch spirit is a real spirit. It's a powerful spirit too. It's a black and white spirit though. And when you see them in the spirit world, gosh, they don't look human. They look human. It's crazy because they look human. Oh, but they're awful looking. They're awful looking. And it's always that black bile, you know, like their fingers and arms and like their extremities, like they're rotting. You guys, and I can't imagine how they feel in the inside. I can actually see how they feel on the inside, but I don't want to because it's so, dude, it's just like a brick of just confusion. It's like they've weaved a web so thick that it's a brick now, like a brick. Oh, could you imagine a brick or even a freaking deck of cards so hard that it's all spider web though, like from weaving and lying and all that shit is now just a block. That's how, in black though, that's how their energy feels. Like you don't want to be there. But they do know things and they have power, so people and their wives of fallen angels. So there's usually a demon, a specific demon or a entity over a coven because that's a fallen angel. That's what they did in the book of Enoch. They saw the women and they were fair and they were beautiful and they took wives and showed them tinctures and things and how to have abortions and stuff like that. I told you that when I first got my first cleaning, that was like, I had been with a couple of girls. I wasn't even a full lesbian or like just totally into girls. I had just like experimented a little bit, you know, just to see what it is that I do like. How do you know that you don't like women if you've never been with a woman, right? You know, just like that, innocent, nothing at all, like, ooh, you know, nothing like that. Just innocent, trying to understand myself and figure out what it is I like. But when it came down to the spiritual warfare and stuff like that, I had to clean that. So it's crazy because like I've said this before about the abortions and about the lesbian thing. Before I was even able to express that I had to clean that, they started blocking me, trying to make me sound like I'm crazy, and then they started reeling out all the abortion shit. Then they started reeling out all of the lesbian stuff and making LGBTQ this big thing, like seriously, like right after I found out. And I was trying to tell people because I was trying to post my journey, but they completely silenced me and turned the whole industry against me. And I'm a stripper. So what I'm trying to tell you is that nobody is listening to me like that. You know what I'm saying? Or taking me seriously unless I say something that kind of like strikes a nerve, or they're like, wait, okay, say that again, you know? Because that will happen because I'm just speaking truth. And I don't care if truth is coming out of the mouth of, you know, a fish. It's the truth. It's the truth. So people are going to resonate with it if they're looking for truth. But so if I'm a stripper and all of these people start coming up against me, you could just imagine, dude, do you understand that not one person that we watch and look at and see and respect is real? They're all part of keeping you in a system. keeping you from awakening, because now is the time, and they're desperately trying to keep us enslaved. We're in the age of Aquarius. We can't help but to rise up pretty soon. The most unawakened of us are going to be looking at people in tarot and looking at people in politics and everything like, you fucking liar. We're just going to know from the aura, from even the hair, you know, like the glory, you know, the aura, it comes from the head. And it's not about how long your hair is or how, it's not about that. It's about you taking care of your crown. Your hair could be, you could have a buzz cut. Just like, you know, I don't think you should do it because of what I know hair is about and why I know witches cut their hair off. You know, and I know that the spirits really do like your hair because it's memories. It's like, dude, they literally help your hair grow, you know. So if you're living a decent life, you don't have to worry about cutting your hair off because the spirits that are attracted to you are going to be decent spirits. That's how you keep. It's magnetic. It's one of the things that keeps the spirits that are resonating with you around you. It's your hair, because it's part of your glory, which is your aura that comes off of your head, your halo. My hair has not always been healthy and strong. It was brittle, it was breaking. It's always grown long, but it's like, it's crazy because it's just like my plants. Like my plants weren't getting thick. You know, they were growing long, but they were thin at first, you know, until I started really getting into my plants, and then they started getting thick. And once they got thick and started growing, I'd be trying to cut them down, break them down, put them in different pots, because the hair is the roots. The hair is just like a plant. We are just like plants, you know, but the hair specifically. And there's hair in all the areas where you perspire a lot, because it's about spirit, perspiring. When you sweat, I've said this before, you're the distiller. You're the one that cleans the spirit. You are. So running away from spirits is that you're doing the opposite of what you're supposed to be doing. You're not supposed to be afraid of a demonic spirit or the spirits around you, because you've been living a decent life and haven't been trying to take advantage of people and take people and get people and be scheming and scamming and stuff. So you're supposed to be able to wear your hair, wear your glory, you know. I hate that they cover the hair in Islam, and I hate that they cover the head in the church. The fact that they do it in the church and in Islam, to me, it just says a lot about those kind of cultures. That's AI. Do you know that? Clothing is AI. That is not something that you are naturally... If nobody told you nothing about the head, you wouldn't be covering your head. You would just be walking around with your head. You're natural. You know what I'm saying? These things are man-made things. They're principles that man made. If God wanted us to cover up our hair, we would be born with a damn headscarf. Period. So these are all concepts that are used to cover up the fact that people are doing things that they're not supposed to be doing. And these men, especially these patriarchal men, have these women covering up their heads because they don't want the spirits around to see what the fuck they're doing. Excuse me. I'm really trying to work on my language. I've been reading up on it and everything. It says a lot about your spirit, you know, so I'm trying to be impeccable. I'm not going to get impeccable for a while. I'm not going to be a master speaker for a very long time, but I'm working on it. So thank you to my little Libra follower and commenter that that got on my ass about cursing like a hood rat. I listen, I hear, and I know what I'm supposed to change. So, thank you. We are all here to keep each other strong and hold each other accountable. I just flipped the card. Or 1 second. 1 second. This is the King of Pentacles too, in the upright. He hiding. This might be who's watching Pisces. I'm obsessed with Pisces right now. Their energy, I'm working on their energy in my chart. And I really love their energy. They're right next to Aries too. Aries is my favorite. But Pisces is right next to Aries. And I could kind of see, they're so different though. But I can see it. The connection. But yeah, I'm working on my Piscean energy, which is part of my language and speaking, because my Pisces is midheaven, so it's how I relate to people, and I'm just trying to do better. I'm a work in progress. Ace of Wands with this painter. Now I can read the cards and stop talking. Gosh. So we have the Ace of Wands with this painter, depicts a blind white coach, driver, homeless. You know, see, all of this is, it could be picking up homeless people to be part of these gangs, you know, just offering them anything to, you know, they could be cleaning them up and sending them out there to protest. That's so, When I lived in LA, the homeless was my favorite part of the city. Like, before they started fucking with them, before they started messing with the homeless people, they used to call me queen, and just like, it was so weird, man. I'd be walking down the street and they, like, I've had homeless dudes lay their, like, little blankets over puddles and stuff so I could walk. And I didn't walk on it. He was so hurt. Like, I didn't walk on his little blanket to get past the puddle. Stuff like that. Like, they used to really... it was just the weirdest thing. They used to treat me like royalty downtown. And then they started messing with them. And they started disappearing. And when they came back, they were just like... They were different. And it wasn't even the same ones that I used to see. All the younger guys. And they used to be cracking jokes and laughing at all the rich people walking by, being extra. And it was just normal. You know, it wasn't all the drugs. It's crazy mental illness. And I found out a lot about the homeless. My friend that I grew up with, they had a group home. And the dad is still very passionate about the boys, you know, because what happens is after they're let out of the group homes, they're just kicked out on their butt. You know, they don't know anything. They don't have no family or nothing. And these are men. Men, it's not good for men to be alone. And the Bible says, it doesn't say that about women. That's what I need women to understand. We can be alone. We're better a lot of times alone, especially if somebody is not benefiting us in a positive way, mentally, spiritually, physically. They got us thinking that we're not supposed to be alone, but we are. A lot of us do a lot better alone. I think about my life, and I went back to try to get my family and try to elevate them, but everything that I've always done, I've always been alone. I've never had the help of my family, never had the help of my friends. In fact, they were always, you know, very condescending. So when I think about how I made it in my life, it's been alone. You know, I'm not saying that people haven't helped me, but for the most part, it was me on my own. And men aren't that way, though. Men need association, collaboration. They need to rule over the household and stuff like that. They need to organize. That's like how men are. And these spiritual books will tell you how the energy is. That's why they get in gangs and stuff real fast, because they aren't supposed to be alone. They're not supposed to be like this either, though. They're supposed to be ruling over their household and being good fathers and husbands and stuff like that. And that's your kingdom that you rule. But it's not enough. And that's because of this. It's being coached and put in your head that, you're supposed to be more than what you are, which is, again, I always say, spirit is about stillness. It's not riling you up. It's not that way. It's not going to give you butterflies. It's not going to make your heart beat fast. It's peace. It's the peace that surpasses understanding. Everything from spirit, unless it's coming to shake something up, it's going to bring you peace. It's going to be harmonious. You got an Ace of Wands here with a King of Wands. And this painter, King of Wands, is very creative. He rules this wand too. I feel like you're getting a burst of energy, great energy too. Confident, sexy, passionate energy, energetic, optimistic, natural leader, some kind of loyal, honorable energy. Because it's the Ace of Wands, and the aces are always given by God. So it's pure. It's pure potential. It's what you do with it, though. The wands could be war, could be sex, passion, lust. There's all kinds of things that come in with this wand. And when spirit hands you the wand, once it's in your hand, it's up to you what you do with the wand. You can go screw you a bunch of broads, or you could use that passion to build something or to be a leader, of something. You are made in God's image, so we're gods, we're little gods. Death. Scorpio, something is ending. End of a cycle, beginnings, change, letting go. Definitely with the ace here. Maybe somebody is, with this painter here, I feel like maybe you are painting the canvas of your own life. Maybe you need to start visualizing what it is you want. Writing it, trying to draw it yourself, not looking at something that is already here, coming with something new with this ace here, because something else is dead. You got the angel of death here. His horse looks mad as hell. But something is coming into being. It's being rebirthed. Something is being birthed, period. Maybe not even rebirthed. It's just 10 of Cups in the reverse. This is a negative family dynamic. I think you're getting something new because what you had was this picture, this canvas ain't it. I was just talking about my family too, and how nobody helped me do anything. If anything, they always, were so jealous that they were always speaking negatively about me. 10 of Cups, and then you have the Star in reverse and the 7 of Wands in reverse. So I feel like you walked away from some kind of stardom, something where you were shining. Maybe you were a painter. I think that you walked away from it because you were tired of defending yourself, or you walked away from this family. You're the star. You're the healer. I think I told this in Aquarius's reading one time, like, you're the fucking star. This family needs you. You don't need them. And they're just draining you of your energy, and you're not defending yourself because it's the family. So something is ending with the death card here. We have Aquarius and we have Scorpio. Someone might be dying, but with the Ace of Wands, I feel like somebody is getting new passion, a new beginning, and this, you're sacrificing something. And you might be sacrificing this whole family, this 10 of Cups, this whole dream that you had. Maybe you already painted it, and someone came along and just, threw water on your, I don't know, like, that's what I'm getting. Some hating ass family member came and threw one of them cups on your painting and ruined it, like, kind of thing. All that means is that you need to get away from them and get to painting again. Because now they have to deal with that canvas that they've destroyed. And you're not there as the healer. So it might be a lot of death. It might be people dying in your family. They can't defend themselves from some kind of disease, or they don't have any hope. Or let me see, what does this star in reverse say? Faithlessness, discouragement, insecurity, and despair. Sounds right. What's this one say? 10 of Cups in the reverse. Broken home, loss of family, divorce, lack of stability. Yeah, I think that was you dealing with these people. You couldn't rise to the occasion because they're insecure and stuff like that, and they're looking at you. They don't want you to make it. And that's how a lot of Black people are too, that we would rather see other people make it than somebody in our own. We pretend to support, but we really don't. We support those that they put in our face to support. And all we're going to get from that is betrayal. Because again, if they're keeping a stripper away from speaking the truth, then just think everybody, nobody, everybody's compromised. King of Pentacles and the 8 of Wands. So we have this Queen of Cups in the reverse and a 5 of Pentacles. So I feel like somebody was able to manipulate a situation to where maybe it's this whole brotherhood, maybe it's a whole gang of people. This could be this family too. They were able to manipulate a situation and put you out in the cold. So I feel like maybe you did leave, but I feel like you didn't want to. This was something you were pushed out. And you're the healer. They pushed you out and you're the healer. Tell them thank you. Thank you. Something is happening fast. Something is direct. There's a King of Pentacles here. I think that you're going to meet somebody. This is a businessman. He's wealthy, successful. This is a provider. Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo energy. I feel like there might be a King of Pentacles coming in fast. 5 of Pentacles. Yep. 5 of Pentacles. Justice in reverse. He's coming in because something was unjust. Putting you out in the cold or something wasn't right. This might be, again, you're gone. So there's no star. Nobody can defend themselves over here. Things are ending. You know what I'm saying? And this because something was unjust. And I feel like this King of Pentacles is seeing that. Because they're dealing with this Queen of Cups in the reverse. I feel like this King of Pentacles is seeing something. Something is being revealed by your absence. It's how it is sometimes. That's just how it is sometimes, guys. I'm sorry. This has all been a mess. And it's going to be even more of a mess. But men really do, with this gang and this brotherhood of the shadows, men have such a big opportunity right now to be heroes. And then they're putting it all in the news, you guys, about these, it's mostly white men, white fathers being heroes and stuff like that. Like, I saw something about black men coming together to walk their kids or something. Like, I don't know, push strollers. I think that's so lame. Like, you guys need a audience to take your kids on a walk. You got to meet up with the boys to take your kid on a walk. That's why they got these men jumping in the oceans and stuff and dying for girls and their kids. Like, black men need to get it together. That organization shit is making you look weak, and they're doing it on purpose. And you're not going to be blessed for it. They're taking all the blessings. I keep trying to tell you astrology and what's going on so that you can get on it. But, you know, silencing. Queen of Cups in the reverse again. She causes injustice. She's selfish, overly sensitive, smothering, and spiteful. Everything you say offends this bitch. Everything you say offends this person. They're trying to find, this reminds me of Gemini energy. If a Gemini doesn't like you, they're listening to every little word you say, trying to trip you up. Trying to take something and flip it, and that's what they do. It's impossible to deal with a Gemini when they don't like you, because they're very competitive too. And they want to be smarter than you. Oh, that's the worst energy to me when it's in the reverse. When it's upright, it's very pleasant. It's fun. I love it when it's in the upright. But when it's in the reverse, and them twins, it's like night and day. Somebody been lying and crying and acting like, a victim to make you look like the monster. This is giving me like the Titans I was talking about. Did I say something about that in the beginning? Yeah, like the demons are usually, if you really pay attention to the story and what's happening in the movies, oh, these movies are a trip. And then once you start looking at them, you have to understand who's the bad guy, who's the good guy. It's like spiritual warfare. And they always have people rooting for the bad guy. So you got to understand what a movie is. It's a manifestation board, and you're watching it and putting your emotions into it. We be crying and shit when we watching movies. You know what I'm saying? And they putting the bad guy that is trying to kill us as the good guy, and we're rooting for him. Yeah, go, and we're mad at the bad guy that they say is the bad guy when it's usually us or our ancestors, or you know what I'm saying? It's a trip. You gotta know the difference between AI and natural, and it's kind of hard to tell. I remember when I first started really getting into the spiritual warfare, Spirit told me if I sat on top of a mountain butt naked for 24 hours, that's what's real. I'm butt naked. First of all, I mentioned the head stuff and all that. Butt naked. That's what's natural. And me sitting on top of a mountain and the stars, 24 hours. It was funny that I said that, because then you see the cycle, the moon rising and the sun rising and the stars come out. It's like, this is all that's real. Not your calendar, not your time, not your clocks, nothing. That's all AI. That was so profound for me. And it was such a simple, Spirit is going to tell you in a way that a child can understand. Because that's how Spirit is. It's not just trying to appeal to the intelligent. It's not just trying to appeal to, the one that everybody respects, or, it's appealing to the animals, the plants, the things that they're not that complex, So Spirit isn't going to be complex, and it's hard because, our language is AI. So trying to express spiritual things through language a lot of times is, you got to be a master. Ace of Cups, clarifying this 10 of Wands in the reverse. Train, nurture, develop a plan, encourage, and support. This is giving me like this coach or these people that are running these gangs and, you know, making this narrative, like trying to put their burdens on you. And the Hangman and the reverse, they're not going to be able to do that. Spirit is giving you another ace. They're giving you love. You're going to have some kind of love that comes out of nowhere. And it might not be from anyone. It might just be within you. We always look outside of ourselves for things. When everything is within you, we are made in the image of God. It's all about your body, you. What's inside of you? The Hangman in the reverse says stalling, needless sacrifice, resistance, and indecision. Maybe someone needs nurturing. Maybe it's crazy because I feel like these people, because they're all into psychology and stuff, they know that. They know that we need this love. I keep telling you about the women. So if everybody's mama and they mama's mama was all, you know, doing spell work and not doing, you know, too busy trying to work and frustrated and stressed out, they never really got any nurturing. So now that they're getting it from people that don't give a shit about you, you know, you think that that's nurturing. You think that that's support, but it's not. It's codependency. And it's using your weaknesses against you, making you love your oppressor. Because now your oppressor is giving you the antidote, is giving you the solution to the problem. Now your oppressor is saying that I love you. It's just like an abused, very, very, very abused individual. That's how they act. Ten of Pentacles. I feel like this love that again is within you is going to bring you a 10. It's an inheritance, wealth, fortune, family tradition. Maybe you're building your own family traditions. I think that you need to nurture yourself. Maybe you need to be your own coach. You know, a good thing to do is to read tarot. Even if you're not a tarot reader, just just record yourself, pull out the cards, express what you think and what you're getting, and then listen to it. It's an excellent way to coach yourself. You know, and don't think about it. Just go with the flow. Let spirit speak through you, and go back and listen to it. It's an amazing way to coach yourself. To hear yourself, hear if you're being a hypocrite, hear if you're being, you know, hear yourself. Listen to your own advice. You might start respecting yourself differently. I'm telling you everything, and that's giving me Ace of Cups. I feel so much love just talking about this subject. You know, it's like, oh shit, I feel all bright and fluffy and shit. Aw, somebody, you guys. And it's so hard for me to talk about Black women because I know that we need love and nurturing so bad. And I come from the red dragon. It's the most nurturing energy on the planet right now. I'm not the only one. I'm not saying I'm Buddha. I'm just saying that's the energy that I come from. And when I speak about this love and this gentleness that we need to give to each other and ourselves, Like, really though, not because the group agrees that this person over here deserves it or this person doesn't, because the group, the gang, is being orchestrated by your enemy. We're the most powerful energy on this planet, and we're being ran, okay? Because we're jealous and envious, and we don't like strength and power. We give it up because, you know, we don't want to feel big, or, you know, they make you feel like that for a reason. I told you, we descend from the Titans and the giants and stuff like that. The Amazons were big women. They were shapely too, extremely shapely. They show that in all the cartoons. The Amazons be stacked, okay? And they make us feel bad about that until they can duplicate it. So now you see all the white girls and all the Mexicans running around looking like black girls and talking shit and acting, you know, like, was that what gave us the green light to talk shit? Was that we was fine? And nobody told us we was fine, though. They told us we was monsters. And then when you try to tell a black woman she's fine, she'll hate your guts and she'll try to bring you down. I remember I used to tell this girl that I worked with, she was a chocolate girl. She had her body done, but it was a little overdone, but it didn't look so unnatural that it was like annoying. But this was the most evil hoe I have ever met in my life, a Gemini. And these men used to dog her out, and she was fine, okay? And I told her, like, do you see yourself? And do you see him? Like, are you crazy? I just didn't understand it. And she was one of the main girls that turned against me. They used her right quick to, like, those pimps to, like, you know, betray me. They all had this big huge conspiracy. The whole city of Houston. That's why they got the most STDs and trafficking central of the United States. You got a bunch of patriarchal men there using women under the bull. It's all a ritual. And the women are pathetic, and, you know, they talk loud when the pimps say they can, but as soon as that pimp told them to shut up, they turn into a little lamb. It's like, damn, what happened to the boldness and the strength? And you was coming hard, you know? You can't do it without the pimp telling you it's okay. It's insane. 3 of Cups, a group. That's what I'm saying. Page of Wands in the reverse. Everything I was just saying. Cynical, low energy, pessimistic, boring, you know? Friendship, joy, celebration, merriment. These third-party situations, because it feels like that, because we need coaching and we need this togetherness so bad, and we need, you know? The 6 of Cups from the past. You got the Strength card here, Driver. Navigator of journey, steering, self-passage, and welcome. See, this is making me feel like somebody is really being coached and ran by somebody. Somebody's the driver, the coach, you know, and somebody is just destitute. We got musician underneath this. They're the same. They're the same people. These homeless people, these gangs, these musicians, magicians too. The player. They're all under the same energy. They're all being ran by the same mob, cartel groups, you know, that can't do nothing without the Italians telling them they can. It's crazy. These men are weak. They're weak, and they're gay. They don't know what they want. They're not just weak, they're confused. You know, and we're catering to that because we're weak. They're putting their weakness, the Ten of Wands in the reverse, onto us. Giving us the, you know, sending us to do the dirty work. It's crazy because the coaches and the psychiatrists and everything are getting together to run the men, and then the men are getting together to run the women. And we're the freaking goddesses. But we're so jealous, and we're so small-minded, cynical, low energy, pessimistic, boring, that we, you know, and then when we meet somebody that isn't boring, that isn't pessimistic, that tells us something positive, we want to tear them down. We don't get that this is a change coming. We don't get that. We help these men tear it down. And they're helping, you know, they're being ran by somebody else. Yeah, it's crazy. And nobody is, you know, intelligent enough to see all that. Because jealousy and low energy won't let you become that intelligent. Social climber, jealous, chaotic, and mean. Queen of Pentacles in the reverse. Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo. We have a King of Pentacles in the upright right here. We also have a King of Pentacles, a King of Wands in the upright. Again, I keep saying that. It's crazy. I'm talking about the men dumping their shit on the women. Look, now they in the upright. This bra right here is in the reverse, you know, and so is this one. I'm just trying to tell you what's happening, and it's not all men. It's these specific ones that are being in the limelight. All of them. Every last one of them that's in the limelight that they're letting you see is a patriarchal asshole. And I need to tell men that too, because you're being influenced by these people. Everybody I see, I'll just be like, I don't watch no more. Because I gotta block everything. Every last one of these black men especially, they're using. And they're letting them use them, and they look so weak and pathetic. Everybody got bad posture and hunchbacks, and can't nobody stand up straight, sit up straight, you know, because no one's really proud of what they're doing. And you can see it. You can see in your posture. That's why I like Aries energy, because Aries is not no sucker, you know, like even if the Aries does something, you know, everybody has their ways, and don't get me wrong, but Aries is very direct, you know, not all the time. I do see, I was saying earlier, I do see the Piscean energy, the secretiveness, the little able to be sneaky sometimes, but that's also part of war. That's also part of war. So I do see that with Aries, but I notice that when they're steadfast, it's just such a positive, powerful energy. That thing can do anything it puts its mind to. It really can. I love that energy. I love working with it too, especially when it's positive. I think I've said that before though. Nine of Swords. This is someone can't sleep. Someone's being tormented because they're a narcissist. They got some kind of victory in the past that is not, look, I always say memories, nostalgia, looking back, reflection. That's what these vampires and shit need you to do. Be stuck in the past, not moving on. And that's what this Queen of Pentacles is, stuck somewhere in the past. Somebody, there's some kind of strength here, but this could be a Leo or a Virgo. I did say Virgo. This could be a Virgo energy. Somebody might be having stomach problems. They got bad stomach, sour stomach all the time. That make you sit like this too, because your stomach is upset and you don't even notice it. So you'll be like, you know, just normally. You gotta pay attention to your body. And that makes you look ornery and old and mean, and you get those lines on your face. It's so many things that we gotta pay attention to our body. The sun. Wow, clarity. A lot of Leo energy here. You're going to get a clarity about these dreams. Because there's this Queen of Pentacles here. This social climate, jealous, chaotic, mean, broad. This is giving me women, period. This is giving me social media. I was watching a little girl and her mother do an interview, like literally, was it yesterday? The little girl had just, her life, you could see she was still like zoned out. You know, poor little girl, her mama had her on there. Her mama was decked out, just talking and plugging, and, you know, while her little girl is sitting there looking distraught, you know. Women, witches, talking about, oh, can't mystic, and I resonate, but I'm a Christian. I ain't never heard a Christian talk about what they resonate with. You know, this shit is crazy to me. That was such a ritual to me, and I feel like it was a ritual to sacrifice young Christian girls. Because again, they're trying to raise up Islam. I've been telling you that. Been talking about that from the beginning. And I know it's not all Muslims, because I also said that a Muslim guy gave his life for me in the dream state. See, the dream state is telling you what's going on in the actual living world. It's right before manifestation into the reality. So when you're a dreamer, you're really getting the psychic images, but you got to just know how to interpret them. That also comes from spirit. You'll get messages and you don't know what the hell is going on. The message is only part of the gift. The other part of the gift is the discernment, understanding what the message is telling you. Seven of Swords, Nine of Wands. This is defending yourself from being stolen from and shit like that. That's in the dream state. This Queen of Pentacles is attacking someone in the dream state, stealing from them, making them have to defend themselves. This could be somebody from your past. This could be family. This could be somebody that you shared something with, that you were good to. And they turn around and plot against you. Some kind of clarity and happiness, joy, success, celebration, and positivity. The Sun is the most positive card in the deck. It's renewal. It's the crops growing, you know, everybody's happy. The sun is out, the rainbow is out, the hummingbirds are out. You know, it's something is going to end very nice. Look, the Emperor in the upright. With this homeless, so you have these plans. King of Cups. Six of Pentacles. Something is going to be fair. I feel like somebody's going to come in and make something fair. Because there's an injustice here. And let me tell you, this is spiritual injustice too. And that is deeper again. The spirit, the dream world is before manifestation. And things have to kind of manifest for justice to come in. Justice is something that is it's Malkuth. It's a... And you know, Libra represents the goddess, Shekinah. She's sitting on the mercy seat. That's what the freaking Ark of the Covenant is. That's the mercy seat where the goddess of the world is supposed to be sitting. But they're not letting her have that seat, or they're giving it to Elizabeth, who I think Elizabeth was a transgender. Because I don't think that they would put a real woman. I don't think any of these. Let me tell you. Look, I'm just gonna stop. The Emperor. I don't think anybody's a woman. Especially if they put them on a pedestal. I don't think they're a woman. Especially if they're a black woman and they put them on a pedestal. I don't believe it. I don't believe that they're really women. It's just they can't do it. You know what I'm saying? They can't put you on a pedestal in a good light. You have to be on a pedestal with a bad light. You know, they can't do that because the goddamn skies might bust open or something. The damn matrix might fall apart. I'm telling you, they can't do it. So when I look at these women that are put on a pedestal, and I'm like, I don't know if they're women. I don't think they are. Because things would be different. The waters would be different. I keep talking about the dark waters and the black waters, and look at all the mud and the flood, you know, dark water. This is the feminine energy. And you think you want to be mad. You think you want to, that's not what you want, because it's not going to manifest that way. It's going to manifest through nature because you're a force. So you want to be mad, you know what I'm saying? But then when the storms get crazy, you know what I'm saying? That's your wrath. That's them making you mean, making you put together these policies that hurt your own people, making you go against the divine feminine energies that are here to influence you and bring out this nurturing goodness in you that these men want to keep down because they know it's going to change them too. It's changing. You know, it doesn't have to fight. That's what the feminine energy is. It doesn't have to be that way. All it needs to do is just be, show up in its glory. And be nurturing and be supportive. And let me tell you, sometimes being nurturing, you got to swallow your pride. Because you see that somebody else has something together better than you do. So, and you want to be a part of something, so you have to realize it might be better for you to take your nurturing energy and help this one out so that we can get there. But we can't do that because we're so jealous, and then they're taking our opinion and flipping it so that we don't understand who's good for us and who's not. We got to get it together, ladies. We really do. And I don't know how it's going to happen. I think that it's going to take the water. It's going to have to stand up for us. It might just drown everybody out, and then we might get in trouble because we'd have promised not to do that with the rainbow. That's what the rainbow is about. That's Oshun promising not to destroy the world with the floods anymore because she felt so bad. You know, the animals and everything was dead. The little squirrels and the babies. You know, that when you let your wrath go like that and then you see what you've done after, it's like, oh, I ain't never doing this again. And that's what the rainbow always represented. So the gay men took that. You see what I'm saying? They take everything from the goddess and they put their face on it. That's why I'm telling you. There is nothing, because it's too powerful. That's why they're trying to mess it up and dirty it up and muddy it up. It's too powerful. And as the black woman, everything comes from us. All the races come from us and the white father. That's how it is. It just is how it is. They're the white pillar and we're the black pillar. We're the alpha feminine and they are the alpha masculine. It's just how it is, and that's just the energy. And to be honest, we have to choose them. We have to choose them because we have chosen the black man, and the white man hasn't done nothing but go behind our back and get in his ear and start fucking him in the ass, and now he's doing his will. So it's like a double cross. You see what I'm saying? We have to figure out how to temper this alpha masculine energy that is about war. You know, right now they see though. because they're putting out all of these hero stories about men, you know, saving women. They see that they need to be put out there in a different light. Which is crazy, because it's like, is it real though? Are you just faking it? Or are you really going to be stand-up men? Because if they did, they could change the world. But if they're really just putting on a front to make things go back the way they were, then it's just another bad cycle. And it really shows how obsessed they are with the dark feminine energy, because it's opposite of them and they need it. Again, it's not good for man to be alone. And if we understood our power, we could really use it to help change the world and to make this place the way we want it to be. And we wouldn't be jealous of each other, because we'd understand that each of us have a piece of the puzzle. And when you make a puzzle, one piece, even if it's the biggest one piece on the board, is just one piece of the puzzle. We need every little piece in order to make the canvas. And none of the pieces, regardless of the size, are more important than the other. Because if without the smallest piece, the puzzle is not complete. And it's just very important that we get to that, so that we can stop being jealous of the couple of little gifts when there's so many other gifts that we're not even paying attention to and nurturing, that we need in order to make the bigger gifts stronger. It's like, I always say this, a domino effect with knowledge. You get with the people that don't know shit, and they don't understand why this happens, and why that happens, and why this happens, or what this leads to that, and that leads to this. They don't know the steps because they're faking. So you'll never get the insight that you need. You'll never be full because you started from here. You know, it's like everything else is gas. Probably why bitches is belching and constant, full of hot air and lies. That's what I got. I'm sorry that I kind of ranted a little bit, but I think that it was needed. I know that I have been really, when it comes to women, and a little bit when it comes to races and things too. And it's because I've been learning too, and I've been offended. And I'm supposed to express that offense, you know, freely. We all are supposed to be able to do that. And if you don't ever say things out loud, you never hear yourself. That's why I say, watch yourself, do a reading for yourself. You want to be your own coach. Watch yourself, listen to yourself, and you'll get a different opinion about yourself. You will say, wow, I need to fix this. Like you, just like how I keep saying with the cursing. I see it. I see how, you know, sometimes it's cool, but I see how low level it is. And I know I'm supposed to be higher level than that. So I'm working on it. And hopefully we'll all start working on our own shit, so that we can all come together as that puzzle and really make something real happen on this planet before it turns against us and shakes us off like fleas. That's what I have for you, collective. I hope that you enjoyed the reading. I'm sorry I was bitching, but I think that I needed to. And I will talk to you later. Peace.